Stick of Monkey Pants. Here we are, episode number 28. We're going to see how this goes. We got the Merry Boozers here, episode number 28, Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. I have to figure out some things because here it is trying to run ads on me. So bear with me while the stream. Okay, I'm going to turn this down. All right, cool. Now I'm going to enable the chat so I can see what's going on with all the lovely people of the world. Live chat. Okay, guys should be filling in here. Fred Barron. Okay, cool. So I can see Dennis Farley. What's up? Awesome. All right, guys, we're doing something different today. I can see the comments. It's a little bit different than I'm used to, but oh, where'd they go? But I can see them. I could. Let's try this again. All right, cool. I just can't make it too small. That's what she said. So bear with me, guys. Dennis Farley, what's going on? I see some back and forth right now, so that's cool. But there's a lag that I've got to deal with. So, son of a gun. All right, I just need to half this window, guys. It puts you on the bottom. It's weird. Okay, so there's that one. I got it. Come on. Bear with me, guys. This is why I don't do guests. Because
it's you, not us.
Because it is what it is. All right, this is what we're doing. You guys in YouTube land, as long as I don't touch anything, I'm good. So I can kind of see the comments, and I can kind of see us. Son of a gun, it did it again. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the Boozers are here with us tonight. We're doing an interview-style situation, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Guys in the comments, in the chat, talk to each other. I'm going to do my best to kind of moderate everything. But we got the Boozers here. We're doing live interview style. Me and Wesley beat our heads against the wall last night trying to figure this thing out. And we kind of got to figure it out. So here we are. Welcome, Merry Boozers, to the live show. Not strange for you, but strange being on the same show at the same time. What's up?
It definitely is strange. It's a little different. You know, we're excited to be here. We've been a big fan of the show for a long time. You know, Ryan's been kind of an inspiration to us, and it's really a good thing being here. Me and Dad are having a wonderful time, as always, in the hobby, and it's great to finally get our faces out to everybody in the live show.
Yeah, I can't say any more than that. We've only been doing this for 4 months, and to sit here and be in the graces of Ryan and doing what we're doing is just awesome for me. We're just having a ball.
Yeah.
You know what? I can tell I've rubbed off on you because you got that hip and fresh new haircut.
I'm telling you, I don't bring out the hair for everybody.
You guys are rocking some really nice attire, by the way.
Look at this.
Man, that looks really good on blue, you guys.
Hey.
And our store is officially finished also.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, Merry Boozers, a lot of you guys are following them too. Let me just say one thing, completely off topic. You guys know when you're a little kid and you're sitting in the barber chair and there's a mirror on one side of you and there's a mirror on the other side of you? Yeah. What I'm looking at, and with the delay I'm seeing, I'm going to be a puddle on the floor by the end of the stream tonight because it all looks absolutely crazy to me, and I'm going to figure something out a little bit different. So, Merry Boozer, talk to us a little bit about your merch store and how we can find it. Moderators, that's you too, Boozers. Drop a link to your store in there. Hey, Dennis Farley says he can barely hear the Boozers.
Man. We were running into this problem the other night.
I know it. I can
figure out a way to get it louder.
It's crazy because I can hear you okay. I turn my volume up to hear the Boozers. That's cool. Just if you can get close. As soon as I get my window figured out here because I'm going to close one. I'm going to turn you up myself a little bit as well. Okay. So, Bear, again, look, I'm just the talent, man.
We're all learning together on this one.
Somebody needs to be moderating I need help.
So, just real quick, we do have Lori setting off camera too. She's going to be dropping links to our stuff for us. So she's going to drop them as the boozer to our new Teesprings merch store. You can go on and drop one for them, guys. Hopefully y'all can hear us. Ryan also has helped us, talked us into an airplane today, and we got to fly it. And I've heard through the grapevine somebody else got to fly his today.
Oh, yeah, a lot of good things to talk about. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I talked you into, right?
Right.
I mean, Teespring's brand new for you.
Yeah.
I know a guy did that, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me close a window here. I mean, this is just freaking my freak. For real. So, okay, my word. Now, control panel. So Google Hangouts, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't ideal, but it's free. Problem is, it won't do better than 720 is the rumor. So we're doing the best we can. So, all right, yeah, Mary Boozers, let's talk about flying. What was the temperature for you in Florida today?
78, 79 today. But we had about a 20-mile-an-hour crosswind at the airport, so it was interesting.
Can you see my – oops. Could you see my finger there? I'm sorry. Number one for 78 degrees. So we were flying in – they boasted high temperatures around 30 degrees today, but I don't think it made it. Yeah, I don't think it made it. So
have your transmitter sack out?
No, but Mike has one, and I kind of think they're ridiculous. And guys, I'm going to do my best to see the chat tonight, but I'm looking at it from my phone because my computer's taken up. So let's talk about what we flew today. So go ahead and tell everybody what you flew to. You know, it's a pilot's lounge, no real agenda. I've got a list of notes here that some things I want to cover, but everybody go check out the Boozers. Obviously, subscribe to them if you haven't already. Josh Mangrum, what's going on? I've seen you on Facebook really blowing it up, and I really appreciate your enthusiasm for the show. We all are just as excited to hang out as you are, and I can't tell you how pumped I am. It's not just that I'm sitting on 2 Americanos right now, but I'm actually super pumped when I actually get to fly on Saturday. So what did you fly today, Wesley?
Well, we started off today with the free wing large A-10, and even in the crazy winds today, that airplane flew really good. And I mean, I was blown away with that one. I've always wanted to try it, and I finally got my hands on one and got to fly it today. And we brought it home. We're gonna boozer it all up for you guys.
Oh, nice.
Dad got to fly his e-flite T-28 today a little bit.
It's always the go-to airplane, my T-28 1200 millimeter. Flies in anything.
No, I honestly haven't met a bad T-28.
I have not either.
I haven't either. And then the weather was real bad this afternoon, like I said, with the crazy wind. So we didn't fly the Bearcat at lunch, but then we got ready for dinner tonight and looked outside, and it looked like everything had just stopped. So we ran down there, and we got 3 flights in with the Bearcat tonight, too. So that's phenomenal.
It does, right? I want to talk to you all about that. But let me go back to the A-10. And then if there's anything else, hey, thank you, Josh. By the way, there's links in the description. I did this live a little bit different. So the description's already built out, unlike normal where I have to do it after the fact. So there's links in there. I started a Patreon. We'll talk about that later. But I don't know. I think this is a cool way to do it, actually, even if I don't have a guest. It's really nice being able to build out the live description before we actually go. There's a lot I'm learning too. Some of you guys know that we did an interview. I say we because you guys all came with me to Pusha Studios, and they interviewed us, the community, Monday, which was pretty cool. And you know what? I'll put that on my I'll add it to the podcast and live stream playlist, even though it's from their channel. Obviously, it was a fun interview, and you guys should check out the live chat because your brothers in arms were like rallying around the RC flag and little old Pilot Ryan himself. So A10,
Yes.
yeah, I can't get over your shirts; they're amazing. By the way, I have a Teespring store too. Somebody. So, did you flew someone else's A10?
Yeah. It's our friend Kevin. He's been really good to me lately. He's got a lot of the free wing jets, and he's been letting us use them for the channel. The P-47 was actually his too.
That's awesome.
And we've been lucky enough to have another member that's he's been letting us use whatever we want of his airplanes. I've got the F4 from him now to put on the channel. I've got he's got the the Thunderbirds F-16. Yeah, he's been really good to us, and it's really helped us be able to bring even more content.
That's fantastic. And let me ask you this. This is what the whole reason for me going this way. So his name's Kevin, right?
Yes.
What's his last name? I mean, it doesn't matter, but do I know him kind of? Does he know us?
No, I doubt it. He hasn't been around the Pilot Lounge very long. He might be in here tonight, actually, because he said he was going to come by and watch the show tonight. So, he has been getting into the show now. Well,
that's cool, and he ought to be into watching you because you're flying all his stuff. So
he's been supporting us a lot lately.
That's fantastic. Hey,
another thing Kevin's been doing is suggesting things for us to do. He wants us to do a complete airplane
repaint.
Complete repaint.
I want you to do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that will be in the near future.
I think that's the next thing, kind of, because you've gotten a lot of guys feeling really up to speed and ready to take the leap on like weathering and rivet detail and things like that, which me included. I just got to find time for it.
We actually, something neat on the Mary Boozer Facebook page. I got a note the other day, and a guy had sent me a picture of his T-28, and he had bought an airbrush through the Pilot Ryan store, and he had Papa dotted his whole airplane,
nice.
And airbrushed it, and sent it all to us. So we sat down and wrote him out a hand thank you letter for supporting us, sent him a sticker. So hopefully he's in here tonight. I'd have to look up his name again. I've been just getting bombarded lately. It's a great feeling, all the people that have been just showing us love for the channel lately, but we do try and actually reach out to guys and personally thank them.
Oh yeah, I mean that's totally what it's all about. And really, I mean, I see what goes over that store. A lot of folks are feeling ready to give it a shot because there's a lot of airbrush stuff moving through there. But what I want to get at with Kevin is, does he set up these aircraft by the book, and are you flying them? I mean, you're flying someone else's bird, right? So are you setting them up? Are you binding them to your own stuff and setting them up, or are you flying them the way he's got them set up? And how's that going? Because I'll tell you this, I have flown planes that were other people's, and a plane that I already know, right? Like I already have it, and I know what it can feel like or should feel like. I feel like it should feel like.
Kevin's been really good to us as far as kind of just giving me free reign. And normally I'll actually set up the airplane to my likings on my radio. It's always easy enough to pull a bind plug out, rebind it to his radio, and he's got all his settings, and then pull it over to my radio, plug my bind plug in, and set it up the way I like it. Because I set up a lot of my airplanes the same way. I start off with 3 settings on the elevator and 3 settings on the ailerons. Even if I don't go by the book, like the Bearcat, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't even set it up by the book. I went by their CG, but for their throw rates, we've been doing it so long that I can normally look at them and say, okay, that's way too much elevator throw. And a lot of the times the book tells you way too much elevator throw on these warbirds.
And a lot of the guys, since they watched Wesley fly, they want him to do the setup, and are the suggestions what will make the plane fly better.
Right.
Uh, that's what I've seen about a lot of these guys that are around us.
We actually fly with, yeah.
Yeah.
They just want that extra.
No, I get it. I really do. So my reason I asked that is this. So I'm in the same boat, honestly, where I don't need a book. However, advice to another guy making videos, the book is everybody's level playing field point of reference, even if it's wrong.
Right.
So it's a great point of reference. you might think about that because it's great. You actually can talk and fly also. Not everyone can. I can, and you can, and it's great. It's one of those things you're not going to stand there on the ground and really think of it. It's one of those things that in the air it presents itself, especially on a Maiden. You take it off, it feels mushy. There's not enough throw, and you stay in the high rate the rest of the flight. That's something you can say to the guys or the viewers. You know what I mean? And in my experience, guys tend to appreciate that kind of feedback, and it takes a little bit out of the mystery because people are coming to video for that authority in a way, a point of reference so they can discern and decide how to do it, and any kind of confidence you can give them. And the confidence is by, springboard from the same level playing field. It gives guys a real edge when they try to maiden that thing themselves. It's like, well, I know how Wesley flies. Man, he does pretty good, and he didn't really like the low rate. There wasn't enough for him, or low rate was okay unless there was a crosswind and he didn't have enough throw, so he liked high. So speak to those things because it gives you something to talk about when you're making the videos, and it's a wonderful piece of value you can give to everybody. Same with kinda, very much so where you put your batteries and stuff, right?
Right.
People want to know. It seems like a no big deal to me and you. I mean, I just going to do what works, but it's good. It's good information. And when I want to watch a video to learn how to do something, because I'm just like everybody else, it drives me mad when I can watch a whole video. And maybe the whole reason I watch that video is because it's like, I haven't flown this thing yet. I want to see where somebody put the battery also. Or if they did a mix to flaps or whatever. And if they don't talk about any of that stuff, it's like, okay, they're making videos for posterity, not for really learning. Yeah, I mean, it's not a diss. It's just if you think a little bit outside of your own experience, you can give tremendous amount of value to everybody who's watching. And then everyone's got that much more of a chance of being successful, which is good for the hobby. Everybody, the people flying the planes and the people making them. Okay.
Ryan, I might have been the problem on us when we first started because the airplanes that we were flying had been out a long time. And guys like you have already done exactly what you're talking about. We have never actually had a
brand new airplane
right out of the box. And something that we've talked about tonight when we talk about the flight of this plane is exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. We made sure to definitely check out. We wanted to run a couple different batteries in it so we could know what the battery ranges were. I made sure to keep all of my settings on what I actually used through my radio for high rates, low rates, everything, just like you were talking about. But it's neat having one that just came out too. All the guys at the field today, "Ooh, what is this?" You know?
Yeah. So let's talk.
They loved it.
They loved this airplane. And when we get to talking about big fit and finish,
oh yeah,
and the things I like, that's really my thing is the look.
The look of it, yeah.
And all that. So that's my part of the boozers is over on that Wesley is the test pilot.
That's right. And you know, when something is new like that, you if you're making video, you want to be the resource. So thinking about those things and speaking of those things, that it definitely is important. And I hear what you're saying. Like I felt in a lot of my experience, I might have been the first guy to fly one over here. And I definitely felt the responsibility, but I still do, regardless if it's been around for a minute or not. I mean, I really do feel it kind of more when it is a new thing. Like today, when I was we were beating our head against the wall with this thing last night, and I was charging batteries and stickering up the big Corsair and stuff like that, which I went out with today as well. And there's a lesson in that one I'll tell you later. But I didn't even charge up 2200s and 2600 3S batteries because of my experience. I kind of knew I already wanted to go with 3300 and 3700 packs I had.
Yep.
And that's what I did right off the bat. We had limited time, and when it's cold, I mean, it's awful. Your eyes are watering because of the wind and the cold. I mean, it's no, I don't know. I mean, me and Mike are the only guys out there at the field, but we flew the Aeros RC T28. Awesome. Same thing, 3300 all the way forward. Bearcat 33 all the way forward.
We flew ours, on 33 all the way forward. 3S
power. Completely impressed with its performance, and what a great little spot. It's nice to have something in kind of a bunch of different sizes to go out with. Like after you fly jets for a long time, like prop planes, I don't care what the wind's doing. Crosswind, upwind, downwind, upside down, whatever, because you just have so much more time to get it right. Like these little 1100s, 1200 millimeter warbirds are a joy as long as you have enough weight in the nose. And I thought they were really right on with the 3300s in there all the way. Let me ask you something on the Bearcat. Did you do any flap to elevator mix at all?
I did not.
You didn't need any, did you?
Nope, didn't need a bit of it.
I didn't either.
The thing is, we flew it, and the wind was about 20 miles an hour. One of the landings that I did, and I was laughing and telling jokes that this is my STOL Bearcat because I literally landed in 2 feet. I came in almost straight down and landed it.
Oh, nice. We
got it on video, so it's going to be great on the
That's
video.
Fun. Did you guys see that P-47 video I did that way where we were landing across the runway?
Across the runway.
Oh, my gosh.
I almost did that today.
Well, I still have to fix the landing gear on that thing because of a hard one. You know how it is when you pop it and it'll roll over that trunnion a little bit. Yeah. So the
plane to me flies as well as that T28.
Yep.
I'm saying this is a rock solid airplane, guys. And Wesley made the comment, and you just made the comment. The more weight you put in the nose, the better it flies.
In the wind or anything. We did fly ours on a 2200 too, and it flew good. When the wind calmed down that evening, we put the 2200 in it, and it would slow down to a crawl with the light weight in it.
I bet so. I mean, look, those Grumman birds have loads of wing area.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, even honestly, that bird would take a big 4,000. I guarantee it. But I think it's too heavy. But it would take it.
Yeah, put a 50 amp speed control in it, and I mean, you could be ripping the skies up with this.
That's thing. Right. Go 4S. What I mean is the plane could take it weight wise.
Right.
You need to upgrade the ESC. Anybody who's considering 4S, but yeah, the T28, same 1100 millimeter airplane. See, Papa, I bet that 1200 T28 and this Bearcat did look and feel the same, because I thought that this 1100 millimeter Bearcat seemed a lot bigger than the 1100 millimeter Trojan we flew. I can't wait for you guys to see the video coming out, this week. So video coming from me, shot today. If you're subscribed and hit the bell. By the way, subscribe if you haven't. I noticed that there's like 50% of my viewers aren't subscribed, and that's almost ridiculous. But you're going to see the arrowsrc.com T28, the arrowsrc.com Bearcat. You're going to see the F4 all hopped up RC Jetworks style. I got the Maiden with that power system off, with the 6L JP Ironman system, 2 ripping butt flights. I mean, just kicking it. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, Mike did the Maiden on the big Fox glider. And here's the funny thing there. The lid popped off. And so when he came in, he was messing with his elevator trim, he thought, but it was throttle trim instead. Like, I don't know what he's doing. And so that prop is supposed to fold back.
Right.
Well, he had throttle on. So he broke the props, man. Like on the best landing ever, he broke the props because it never quit spinning. So the plane is totally fine, but we got to get props for that big glider. He built this crazy dolly thing and took it off that way. So we have the Maiden flight, but never really got to finish the video. But I might still put it out anyway, and just you won't see a landing. But
should have got out there and chunked that thing.
Well, you know what? I can't do it. I could do it all, but I try to share. I mean, I wanted to fly it too, and I'll get to. He likes to fly up here. It's hard to get it, so I'll try to put it out in front so we can see it. And here's the lesson of the day, and this has happened to me probably twice in my whole time of flying airplanes. It always happens when, and mistakes, right? Always happen when you're in a hurry.
Or you get complacent.
Or
I've done this a million times. And
so excited.
You don't look, and you've got your ailerons backwards.
Super excited.
Well, a good example of that is when we did the video on the F8F Bearcat, the twin, the Tiger
Cat.
And what did we do?
We forgot to do a range check. We were like, oh, they always work, whatever.
Good example.
Yep.
Let's just get it up and fly it. And oh gosh.
That's it. So here I have, I've been sitting on, it's been sitting back here behind me for weeks, the big Corsair, ready to fly the deal. And normally the first take at the field is kind of just getting the camera ready. So it's not, even though I want to get to work, right? So like, I mean, the Arrows RC T28 and the Bearcat and the Jetworks F4, to me are, I want to get those done. Same with the Fox glider. I want to get those done. Those have been provided by those people. I have an obligation to get those done. So even though I want to film those first to get them done, because that's how I roll, I've done this a lot. And the first take is usually junk. So let me fly something for fun. We'll film it anyway. So we were going to film the Maiden of the 1600 millimeter Corsair, and beautiful takeoff, and start to just peel off a little bit to the left. So of course I give it some right to straighten it out, which ailerons reversed. Guess what that gives you? So I got her upside down, right out on takeoff, and actually gave it downstick, try to fly out of it. But I never could get it. All happened so fast. I could never get over my aileron. Nothing. It freaks you out when it doesn't give you what you think it should.
Done it before.
You don't know it's ailerons until after the fact. So I landed it upside down, and it's my head start to doing that battle weary weathering that I was going to do to the thing, Mary Boozer style. So let's the takeaway. The takeaway is
Check your crap.
pre-flight, 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 and when don't stand in front of it.
Always stand behind it
and look for your left.
I guess I'm the guy that when Wesley's going to do the first flight, I've done this so long, I'll say, check it again.
Yeah, he always stops me and he's like, wait. Just check it real quick. Just make sure. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's good.
Okay, all right.
You know what? It happened to me this summer when I was super excited about flying that Tiger Meat Mirage. I did the same thing. And I almost saved it too. I got upside down and I gave it down stick like you should. But things happen so quick, you don't know if you don't know if it's your elevator that's reversed. You don't know if it's the ailerons. You don't have time. I mean, in a perfect world, I would climb to safety, realize
in with the rudder,
realize what happened, and then okay, let me see if I can fly the roll backwards. And if I can't, I'm going to get some more altitude, and I'm going to switch it in the radio. But there's never time for that. So brand new plane I've got to fix. And that's how I started the day today.
Man, that's rough.
It doesn't make your day go very
No,
well
it doesn't.
that.
Let me give you another piece of advice, which kind of goes along with the pre-flight thing. And this is my own problem. So because I work these projects and feel like there's pressure on sometimes, is Pusha Studios in here? What's going on? Cool. Sometimes back to being in a hurry, right? So very time sensitive to get the build videos done for the Arrows RC release. Super excited about that. You don't get opportunities to do things like that if you drop the ball on timing. So I work hard to do it and get it done. And that was a really fun weekend and it worked out really good. So what happens is I'm sitting there on the bench. I get them done. I get the video made. So I get the video done, which is my priority at the time. And then I know the weather's awful. I don't finish setting up the plane. And so I go to video editing. Then I go to Florida for a week or something else happens, whatever. And so I come back and I finally get a chance to fly today. And stuff is screwed up. So I was flying the Bearcat on a goofy flap to elevator mix that I hadn't taken out. So you guys are going to see it in my maiden flight that when I put the flaps down, I was surprised by this crazy down moment of pitch that I was getting because I don't remember those acting that way. And so then I land it and I'm fiddling with the mix trying to take it out. And I basically... it's like 28 degrees, man. We're in a hurry.
Oh, yeah.
It stinks. So I actually gave it more down instead.
Oh, no.
And so on the second flight of the Bearcat, you know what happens when you've got a lot of down elevator. The thing just, tail up, and it's 28 degrees. So guess what happens when you have a prop strike?
They snap right off.
Tink, tink. But anyway, there's 4 on there now. That you can see it behind me. I had an extra one, but I had a ball flying those little 3-cell planes, and I can't wait for you guys to see the videos because we ripped the snot out of the T-28, and we had a good time. Once I got it trimmed out, the Bearcat was a ball like right away.
Yeah,
and I was. Go ahead.
We'll probably be flying more videos of it. We did just our original one today. We want to get it out so guys can see it, but I want to get it out there on a nice day and get. I think this is one of those airplanes that I'll fly it. I mean, right off the deck kind of airplane. It's so smooth. When the wind did stop for real brief moments, you could feel it. I think this is one that I could have a lot of confidence to get really low slow-mo passes with.
I bet you can. And if you ever get a chance to do the T-28 felt really good too.
Right.
It felt really good. And, I got to be honest with you, that scheme at first, I wasn't so sure.
Right.
But it really grows on you. And when it's out in the air, it was kind of dreary. I got a little bit of sun today. but mostly not. So, man, that thing looked great with the yellow and red, and that it is a scale scheme. So, yeah, great plane. And
I think gyro would be great in these airplanes too for the windy days, and then these things would soak the wind up like nothing.
Gyro and that capacity battery up in the front. I'm flying the RC Jetworks 3300 3S and also the Roaring Tops from RC Jetworks as well, and really fun. By the way, all you guys who have T-Plug and Dean's batteries, if you get these 11 Hobby, you get these Arrows RC planes. There is some DNA they share. But they come with XT60s, so get you one of these little adapters, or unless you already have a bunch of XT60 batteries, and you're cool. Good times. I can't wait for you guys to see the
there you go,
the RC Jet. Yep, the RC Jetworks videos too. Oh, so this is fun. There's ice and snow on the runway, so we already only have 280 feet. So we had, divide by 3, take away 1. And so we had like 2/3 of that today. So I don't normally take off with flaps, but I did with my F4 today because I'm flying. It's brand new. I mean, in a way, right. I'm doing the maiden flight on that JP setup. And also I'm carrying the brakes. And because I got a little weight after CG with the brakes, I wanted to fly my big 6,000 RC Jetworks pack, and it was fantastic, by the way. But I can't wait for you guys to see the landings. Like I landed, you can tell that I'm trying to miss the ice, and it worked out, man. I mean, it's like if you needed drama for today's filming, I think I got it with the cold and the ice and snow.
Were you doing some drifting out there with your brakes?
No. And you know what's funny? I was playing with the brakes a little bit, but by the time I'm landing it pretty slow on that field already because there's only so much room.
Right.
And, by the time I get it down and get the brakes going, I'm already done rolling out anyway. The snow and ice and water kind of slowed me down some. But so fun out there today.
Other than the cold.
Other than the cold, I'm always glad to get out there and get things done for you guys and get projects finished. The T-28's not here because Mike wouldn't let me take it. He already called dibs on it. So, we got a couple flights in on that one and she's done. So, let's talk about, I'm going to just take a look at the comments really quick because I haven't been able to. My wife says she loves the new format. Thank you so much.
Hey, Lori, come in here and say hi to the chat too.
Shout out to my the Hanger Rats, she says. So we've talked about a few things. Pre-flight's a big one.
You stay here, Dan. I was bringing Lori in for a second, too.
What's up, Lori? Everybody say hello to Lori.
Say hi, Lori.
Hi.
Hi. You guys know her as Mrs. Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys know her as Mrs. Boozer.
And she's the major videoer.
Yep, she's our camera girl. She runs all our camera equipment for us. So if you like our videos, she is our camera girl.
That and
slow motion.
Nah, I see all you guys out there. I told you, Wesley, the other day or last night. I was like,
commenting about.
No, go ahead, Lori.
Oh, okay.
There were people already commenting about the Papa Dots already being on the plane.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he couldn't stand it.
Oh, yeah.
The minute he cracked the box, took a whiff, and he started doing his thing.
Didn't even have it put together. He said, I was sitting in my chair, just dotting away.
So, yeah, Lori does more than just camera. She's all in the chat, supporting, dropping links, doing all that stuff, which is really fantastic.
You're good.
Yeah,
I just wanted her to get to say hi.
Lori is part of give her.
We
a
wanted
lot
to
of
give
credit.
her credit too, though. I mean, she's one of the boozers. You know, this is a whole family ordeal. I wanted her to come in and say hi real quick.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
Absolutely. So I've got a question from the people, and I'll get your take on it too, and then I'll be. I'm so glad to. By the way, you guys, I'm gonna again. I already said I'm gonna put a link, or actually, I'm gonna add the interview with Pusha Studios to the podcast and live streams playlist because I actually had so much fun doing that. And I was at work, my regular job today, and I had it on, and I had work to do, but I really got caught in the live chat checking all you guys out who were there. It was just very fun. It was a great interview. I'm really glad they had us on. The whole community really got, I feel like, interviewed, kind of chatted with that day. And hopefully a lot more people got to be exposed to the RC hobby a little bit. They put together a really good live stream, and anybody who's wanting to do live streaming and wants to emulate somebody who's doing it well, definitely check them out. They stream a lot. So you subscribe to them, you're never going to miss an opportunity to learn something. I really enjoyed one of their shows the other day. The guy was from Australia, Andrew, and I can't remember his name, but it was a really fun show. What was that guy's name from Australia?
I don't remember either.
He had glasses on, of course, the accent, you know. It was.
I saw it too. I think it was on Tuesday night, actually.
I think it was just, it might have been. The time really flies. It was such a great show, though. So I really appreciate them having us on. So here's the question. We'll get Captain, don't worry, we'll get Pilot Robert and Captain Blosh on here one of these days. Look, I am learning. So, and also, I really want to do a good job of it. There's some things I'm going to have to talk to, actually, Pusha Studios. I have a lot of questions. I'd like to actually spend some time with them. Those guys are videographers and photographers by trade anyway. So there's a lot to learn from them, and I have some questions because I'd like to really up my live stream game and interview capability. It costs a little bit of know-how and a little bit of scrap sometimes, so whatever it takes. Question. The new FAA ruling, which are they still calling it an interim ruling, or is it just a ruling? And the reason I ask this is because a lot of times at this point, I don't pay attention probably like I should, because it seems like there's always something that kind of, in a way, throws a wrench in the recreational hobbyist good time. Like, we all really do a great job of self-governing ourselves. I think the reason why it makes the news at all is because
drones or people doing things that shouldn't be doing it, that aren't even in the hobby, really.
Somebody does something irresponsible, and then we all kind of have to suffer. Something
I've been doing forever. I'm not doing the number on the outside yet, but something I've always done since they made the $5 registration is I put the registration paper right there inside the cockpit.
That's nice, and that's what you're supposed to do.
And that's how they've said to do it for years, and that's how it's been done. And it's got my name, my number, everything in here. This one's Dad's because Dad bought it for himself. But
even AMA
said that was the right way to do
for
it.
You to put your number and your address and that kind of thing in the plane also.
So a lot of the large fly-ins that we go to and stuff, they want you to have that. So we've just done it forever.
Yeah, and that's kind of it's different, right? Your AMA number and your FAA number are completely different things for different reasons.
Your AMA number doesn't have to be on there according to the FAA, but your FAA number does. So by putting that FAA registration sticker in there, I know I'm legal technically, but I know now it technically has to go on the outside of the airplane. So
No, you have to tow it like a banner now.
yeah, right.
Like you see that post on Facebook?
Yeah, where the guy
where
says,
it's waving
right.
behind him. Yeah.
The one I would do on all these is probably under, I don't know if you can see it, but under here where they always put the numbers underneath the tail fin. So at least it's in a place you don't have to look at it when it's just sitting there. But
yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Like, I don't really mind it visually being on the plane. I kind of do mind being told what to do, though.
right.
And the I'll be honest, I've never done it.
Yeah, well, and I didn't do it a lot until we started going to a lot of these events where people were asking us to do it.
And another thing, if you live in a very highly populated area and you're within 5 miles of an airport,
oh yeah, you got to be following all the rules. That's where they're going to be coming after
where
people.
You're going to be coming.
We live in the middle of nowhere in a club of 20 people, so they're probably not going to be checking where we are, but we're trying to follow the rules still.
Yeah, no, I get it, and you should. And I remember when this thing first came out, I let myself get all up and twisted about it, and I paid the $5, mostly because I don't want messed with, and then all of a sudden 3 years has passed. It is kind of where I'm at. The I kind of compare it to, all right, so it's a federal crime to mess with a mailbox, right?
Right.
Have you ever seen the mailbox police?
Nope.
Me neither.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, and if you're flying at an AMA event, you've already paid your dues. You already have your card. You already know the rules. You more than likely respect the culture in aviation already. So it's something we have to do, but I really feel like it's just for show.
I feel like it's to make money, if you want to know the honest truth.
Well, yeah, I mean,
$5 a person for every person that flies an RC airplane. That's a lot of government revenue
for doing nothing.
Right.
So what's new? But yeah, I
and you have never heard of an RC, or I haven't,
of an RC airplane
creating a problem at an airport. Now, there might be one, but there's not like the drones.
But we're not going to get into all that.
But I'm just saying, I've never heard about an RC airplane.
Somebody flew a scale Wildcat into Heathrow Airport.
And it stopped the air traffic.
Yeah, most people, anybody who would behave in a way that would do that, really already doesn't respect. They're not, anybody who's that foolish doesn't know how to fly in the first place. They couldn't get it over the fence. You know what I mean? It's some they wouldn't know how to turn it on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Anyway, so that's my thing on the FAA. So pay your $5 so they'll leave you alone and move on. Yeah. Because the rule's going to change again in 3 months. And what we have to do here is the thing is, what happens when you hurry up and comply is 2 or 3 months later, they're going to take it back. And it's like, you know what? It's okay.
Recall it, whatever.
It's okay. You're all right. You don't need to put it on the outside, whatever.
Put it inside of the battery hatch, something like that. Whatever the next rule will be. Yeah.
All right. So
we covered it at least now.
Yeah. So there's your FAA answer.
Yeah.
Everybody. I'm all about safety, and I'm all about rules are okay. But
when they're not ridiculous,
it's a little bit too much.
But be aware that
Sean Gallagher,
within 5 miles of an airport, you need to call the controller.
Don't fly there.
Well, that's true, but I mean, I know some clubs that actually do call the controller before they fly.
But
the one thing that really benefits us is that most guys and girls are doing it right. So,
Mhm.
and if you go to a club or you fly under the wing of any veteran, we already know, don't be an idiot around an airport. Don't fly over 400 feet, especially if there's, I mean, everyone has probably flown over 400 feet, but if there's a civilian plane coming across and you
You can hear it.
you stay up there, you're an ass.
Right.
So, be smart. Don't be an idiot because you'll get
The old feds.
you'll get everybody in trouble. What am I talking about here on the chat? e-flite did a composite F4 back in the day. Yes, that's true. Did e-flite release something today or last Thursday that I don't know about?
I haven't seen nothing.
Somebody said something about an 80 millimeter F4 just to get me all like crazy, I think, in the chat. An e-flite.
I haven't seen nothing like that.
I haven't either, but we were out.
An F-15 that came out recently, but it was tiny.
Yeah, well, it's FMS.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves about stuff. This is the pilot's lounge. So yeah, I mean it's actually a good thing. I mean there's nothing. Hey, FMS DNA is good stuff. If it wasn't, Horizon wouldn't have got all over it. John Knopp says he got me to pay attention with that e-flite F4 comment. So, all right, next bone of contention to pick at. Let's go Neffy. Anybody find out anything on Neffy? The answer is no. I'll answer for you already because I reached out and I got nothing. Supposedly, it's in a Horizon ad. Huh. We'll see. I can't wait. Somebody hit me in the DMs with that. Anybody who's got me close on either Facebook Messenger, Instagram, or Twitter, hit me up and or drop the link in the RC Pilots Lounge or the Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike Facebook group, if you would, please. Also, we'll talk about that later. So Neffy, I reached out to Jay Smith this week, and we just missed each other. So I haven't been able to talk to him about it, but it seems like there's a handful of guys who felt like there maybe wasn't enough room at Site 3, which is basically traditional runway style. It's awesome. So there's a straight one and then the X, right? So that was awesome. It's pavement, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for these foamies, that'd be great.
For the foamies, it's great. So, but the rumor is that Neffy, thank you, Dave's RC. Apparently, Neffy, though, this year is going to be on Site 4, which is grass. And my concern is their electrics. Yikes. And also, like, we're charging batteries. I hope there's electric over there because I know there is at Site 3. And there's another site as well that has bathrooms and electricity also that would be okay. It's a big L. So if the winds changed, you could still work it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Jay wasn't in. He's on vacation. I talked to Jenny Alderman, the photographer, and she I'm sure she wears a lot of hats at the AMA. She's a great person. And we talked a little bit about it. And, apparently it's just something they wanted to try out this year. So my advice is this. I don't want to be a thorn in anybody's side. However, I think it might be okay if we do it politely. I'm liable to do a poll on Facebook for those of you who are going to go to Neffy or who might consider going. If you had a preference, what would you pick? My thinking is if somebody doesn't feel like there was enough space on Site 3 where we have done Neffy every time so far in the past, and they want to fly off of grass, by all means, go do it. But don't mess up
a good thing.
the whole event over it. I think it's a really, I mean, I remember going to this thing. I think I've done it every year since it began, except last year I missed because of a wedding thing. But we have guys who drive a very far way to fly with, you know, me and Mike over there at AMA headquarters on some pavement.
Mm-hmm.
So they're liable to not come because you can find grass anywhere, I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's one off my list. What do you, I mean, you already said what you thought, even before I baited you into it, like the pavement. I mean, isn't that nice? That's fun.
Oh, the pavement's the way to go with these foamies. They don't flip over. You don't have the problems of trying to take off and they're going 3 times and you break props and everything trying to get them off the ground.
That reminds me of something I was watching and listening to videos last night after we were working together, Wesley. Pavement, right? So have you guys, they're new also, Wesley. Have you seen Angry Zeppelin YouTube channel?
I don't think so.
They're brand new. It's a handful of guys. And they got it made too. Wesley, I was telling you, you got it made because you got your dad and you got Lori.
Right.
You got a production team.
Right.
When I can get Mike out, there's 2 of us. That one extra person is so instrumental. So milk that for all it's worth. Right. So anyway, these guys, Angry Zeppelin, there's like 4 of them. It kind of feels like a co-op channel. Like they're all throwing down, getting these planes, they're taking turns reviewing them. And I think they fly at the same piece of beautiful pavement that Jeremy Solt and Justin L.A. are flying at. So they're fun. They're new. They're excited and the passion's there. So they've never been on the chat, but you guys should check them out maybe and tell them, you know, we sent you. There's a community of us here doing this thing that are just as crazy as the rest of us.
Definitely. Well, I'll definitely check them out after the chat.
I had a good time actually listening and watching those guys too. Last night while I was up super late getting ready for today so I could fly it upside down into the dirt. I'm so mad.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I know y'all can't see right now, but we do have some new patches too that Dad's been making. I know we had showed those a while back, so I didn't know, not to change the subject on you, but I didn't even know if you could see them back there.
No, I can see them. They look really good. So that's something, you know, we've talked about this, Wesley. I think you need to figure out getting the squadron patches on your Teespring
T-shirts. Yep, we're talking about that, making these into T-shirts. So I think they'll be really cool.
You got to do it. You have 6 months to get it done, or I'm going to do it.
We're getting it done, man. We're getting it done.
Or another thing I want to do is make an inexpensive
A2 jacket. He wants to do like a brown jacket.
Brown jacket, you know, zips up, got the pocket. We put the patch here.
Put your squadron patch on one side, your 7th Air Force, your 8th Air Force, whoever. Yep. Yeah, it'll be really neat.
That would be cool.
We're gonna start with the boozer first, and then move on.
That absolutely. You got to crawl before, you know. You got to start with
crawl before. So at least it's up and running now. So I mean, you know, guys can find it. I'm sure Lori's been dropping the links over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she has. I mean, and you know, Teespring's not likely to put aviator jackets on there.
No.
Well, we don't even need it to be that. We're thinking we're going to make them out of like a pullover type thing or like a windbreaker.
Nice.
So it'll be a cheaper option than buying an A2.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll still do an A2 with an actual leather patch, but for the guy that doesn't want to spend $300-400 to get one of those, we're going to try and make something that's $60 or $70.
No, nice. I'd be all over it. A lot of guys would. I mean, That's the thing. That's what I was telling you. It's like, you know what? Everybody digs those patches, but not everybody's going to go full
Got the money
throttle.
for it. Right.
Well, or just style. But a T-shirt, you know,
T-shirt, a pullover jacket, whatever. Yeah.
I told you got 6 months. Because well, the pop art, the what for me, there's so many dimensions to my craziness. So I also come from a place of a vast art appreciation, and one of my favorite places is kind of the pop art area. And for me, I feel like the insignia, the roundels, the squadron patches, the cartoon art, the nose art, the beautiful shapes of these planes also in the first place, all are very kind of arty to me. Yeah. Like there's this beauty I appreciate about them. That's where the romance comes from for me, is like just this appreciation of its shape and design a little bit. So the squadron patches are 100% pop art. You know, these guys painted them on. They got bold outlines, and same with the insignia. They're just bam. You know, it's the Campbell soup can of aviation. Like, you know exactly what this stuff is. And so I think you're really onto something with the squadron patches, and I completely appreciate the making them handmade, Papa, and I love mine. But just because I know, I don't know when I'm going to get it on my jacket, but man, if it was a
T-shirt, you'd be wearing it.
I could buy a T-shirt for $20 right now.
The other thing I think would be cool is turn these into stickers, and guys can use them for even like nose art on airplanes. Look at that.
100%.
I mean, look at that. Bam. There's your nose art.
That's what I'm saying. People are taking our small stickers and putting them on their airplane.
Oh yeah, our boozer stickers.
It's amazing.
The events we've been to, yeah.
It is amazing. I told you guys I need one for the back of my laptop right here, and
we're getting them.
I'm gonna do. We have stickers on Teespring, but I'm more excited about pushing them when they're actually die cut and not like a rectangle.
Right. Mine are coming through. Callie is who I've been getting mine through, and she's just done a wonderful job for us. I actually just ordered 200 last night to get shipped out to people. So
that's awesome. And then the thing about that is you're on the hook to get them where they're going. So I can't wait. Teespring is going to have die cut sticker availability pretty soon. And because I don't want to be in the sticker shipping business, I'm going to probably go that way.
I understand.
But I in the meantime, I would like to have some from Cali. I had somebody was asking for some of our stickers the other day, but they're available. You just got to go to Teespring. So let me talk about Patreon real quick, a little bit. It was one of those things that I was reluctant to do, but because you guys super chatted up $150 last show, and YouTube takes $50 of that. I thought you guys would appreciate knowing, that here's my transparency, right? I thought you guys would appreciate knowing what's going on. Like I value your attention, and I also value the donations are really amazing. And those guys who want to super chat, that's fine. But Patreon is a way that you can also support where they don't take near as much. It's somewhere between instead of 30%, it's between 7 and like 15% or something like that. Somebody might correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, so there's a link in the description to my Patreon. It's also in the channel art, like with Twitter, Instagram, Amazon, whatever. The Patreon is there, and the way it works is you make a small, it's like a subscription. You make a small donation a month. They set it up. I think you can do it through PayPal or whatever, just like you probably do Super Chat. And it's another way that you can support channels you like. And other YouTubers, I actually don't know if anyone on in the RC market does it, except what's their name? Husband and wife, sailors, RC sailors. So anyway, if you check it out if you'd like. There's tiers, and what it's supposed to allow is like more access to content, like exclusive things like that. It's kind of its own little social network as well. I never really wanted to have content that only some people could see, so I'm really not sure how I'm going to do any of that. But the first tier is $5, and I'll get you a sticker or something, and it says it right there. And then the second tier I'll get you a shirt, whatever shirt you want from our Teespring store. And if you wait a little bit longer to pick what shirt you want, you'll have more choices, because I have some people on task right now making me some new designs. So Patreon, that's what it is. It's another way to support. If the idea of YouTube taking 30% stings you like it stings me, then check it out. That's that. So links in the description. Ask me about it if you want to. Do it if you want to. Don't do it if you don't. That's what that is.
Sweet.
So have you figured out your dashboard on Teespring, Wesley?
I think so. As far as I know, we looked at it earlier. It looks like it's set up good. You see the shirts and the blankets and everything else is on there now.
It should update like real time. Like if somebody buys a shirt tonight, you should know it.
Lori is over at the computer right now. I don't know. I can go over there and look real quick.
Oh, it's no big deal. Just it's kind of fun, you know?
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking it out after the show. And speaking of kind of the merch stuff, we're going to be doing some giveaways coming up. So I'm going to do 500 subs. I think I'm going to give away one of the Mary Boozer blankets off of Teespring, because I thought that would be neat.
Nice.
And then at 1,000 subs, I talked about it in our live show the other night, but we're going to be doing one of these Milwaukee radios.
Nice.
So,
always let us know. And yeah, guys, I have a link to the Boozers RC YouTube channel in this description already. Make sure you subscribe to them. Lori, make sure you're dropping your channel link too in the chat. People can go check it out. Subscribe, smash the bell. What are you guys doing a live tomorrow, Wesley?
Probably not, but I will probably be putting up a
premiere.
A premiere. There we go.
That's awesome.
So not really a live, but yes, there'll be a video up of some sort tomorrow.
That's
We're going to try and always have a video on Sunday, even if it's a short one like last week with maybe like a little thing after it. We're always going to try and have some type of content for you guys to see on a Sunday. 4 o'clock. We want it to be like Paddock Lounge. You know we're going to be there 4 o'clock.
That's fantastic.
We haven't decided if we're going to do live or if we're going to go premiere yet, but one way or the other, we will have something tomorrow.
No, that's good, and you should, because I really think that's the way to go on live streams. You really ought to be consistent, and
yep. We want you to know that Wednesdays you're going to see a new video from us on our flying videos or a painting video or whatever, and then Wednesdays are live videos. So
Wednesdays are
Sunday. I'm sorry, Sunday.
Yeah,
Sundays live. Wednesdays are just regular show.
Yeah, either way, premiere or live stream, you got that consistency going. Keep it up. It helps. I think this thing is done well because of it. You know what's funny is I don't really see my chat like I usually do. Josh Mangrum, go to the Teespring store for Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike. Somebody please drop the link in there. We have Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike shirts. You can get. Yeah, look at them. So yeah, check it out. Long sleeve.
Different colors.
That's it. Long sleeve, sweatshirts, everything. You get a shirt, you help me buy Corsair parts. That's cool. So Dave Kowishki, I think, is my first patron on Patreon. Thank you so much, Dave. We'll talk and we'll figure out what kind of shirt you want. Thanks again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what was I getting at? I wanted to say for you guys. Oh, because you and I both are new to the live stream game, since we don't like, there's some benefits on setting up and announcing the live before it's live. If you pay attention to
Peugeot, they had it. Yeah, they had it running for like 10 minutes before.
At least, and people are filling up in the chat. It's showing up in notifications. People are tweeting it out. It's there. You can go. Like at this point, for me, people know 9 o'clock. It's on. But I don't do anything. I should, but it's, yo. I mean, Wesley, you were hitting me up to get ready to go, and I just had gotten home. I've been gone all day, just very, very, a lot going on. So Dave's RC, big shout out for Dave's RC. Check him out as well. Dave, do you have a YouTube channel as well? Certainly you do. If you do, feel free to drop the link in the chat. And I just am not able to play around with making moderators right now. Thank you, Alberto, for that comment. That was a very fun show on Pusha Studios. But yeah, Wesley, since we don't have some of our YouTube game might be lacking a little bit, that consistency is a very important thing for you to do.
Right.
Brian Chambers, I haven't seen him pop up yet today. But he just won the giveaway for one of the Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike shirts the other day. And I know it shipped out this week. So he ought to be getting it soon. I want to talk about, I don't know if it's going to be show 29 or 30, but this is show 28 right now. And I've been talking with the people at Hobby Zone, arrowsrc.com, and we're going to have the CEO on here one of these days, probably just like me and Wesley are doing right now. And that's going to be very informative. So when that time draws more close, what I'll do is make sure to put up a post on Facebook and solicit some questions from you guys. And I'm going to refer to these questions in the interview with Dan. And we'll get some answers for you. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really neat having the guy's been doing it, holding it down at hobbyzone.com for 25 years. He's got a lot of knowledge on the industry side that we really over here don't necessarily get to be privy to. So think it's one of those things where I think you're going to hear stuff from him and learn some things from him that you maybe wouldn't have even thought to have asked in the first place. I'm sure I certainly will as well.
Cool.
Brian Chambers, he says he's here. He got a shirt. Very, very nice quality. Thank you so much. No, thank you, my man. You'll have to post a picture of you rocking it on Facebook like everybody else. Eric Rogers, are you out of here? John Zinn, drive by. Hello again. Cool. I got something to probably talk to you about, John, one of these days. On the road again. You and Willie Nelson. Oh my goodness. Mitchell Farley, thank you so much. Second Patreon. That's awesome. You guys are the best. I really appreciate that. I cannot wait for better weather. What about you guys? Not you, Wesley.
What do you mean? What do you mean better weather? It's great. What do you want? It's 75. You want to get hot again or something?
You're killing.
We just need the wind to cut down around here.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You want it to get hot again? It's gonna be 100% humidity up here when it's nice for you guys.
So let's talk real quick about the stuff that's also you guys want to hear us talk about anything we haven't mentioned. If there's any topics you want us to cut who off, Dennis? Oh, yeah. If there's any topics you want us to talk about while we're here on the chat, let me know. Also, I have no idea how long we've been on.
It's
hour and 15 minutes.
hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
15 minutes.
All right.
So,
We'll
party is definitely rolling.
3-hour tour. So
I mean, I told you this is a 2-hour show. How many times?
I know. That's how it goes.
Hey, Ryan, I want to talk about something about the Arrow Bearcat.
Let's do it.
At first, I said I want to talk about the packaging.
I'm gonna go check on some stuff.
You know, that's the big thing.
Hey, hold on. Did he walk away with the microphone? Because all of a sudden you're a zilch on volume.
Walk away with the microphone.
No, not that I know of. Can you
Try
hear me now?
again.
How about now?
There you go. There you
know
go.
what? I wonder if it's going through my headphone instead of our camera mic right now.
Well, it might be because you guys are Wi-Fi. You're throwing off the Earth's axis, I'm sure. But don't move, Wesley.
Okay, here we go. Hang on.
Next thing you need is a tinfoil hat. You'll be good to go. All right, Papa Boozer, you're talking about the packaging, right?
Yes. So how well does it get to you? How well is it packaged? I give this a thumbs up. When I got it, didn't have a problem. Come out of the box with no dings, no breakage. So they did a great job there. Let's talk about the finish. When I got the first thing I took out of the box was a wing, and I had to look at it twice because I thought it was a sheeted wing with it. I mean, it doesn't have anything that looks like foam. I mean, this is phenomenal as far as the paint is great. The graphics are you can't even tell where it goes from the plane to the sticker. So I gave it 100% on those. The fit, I had no problem with anything that resembled not fitting. The wing came, I put the servo leads right through the fuse, put 4 screws in. That was it. Put the vertical or horizontal stabs. First time fit great. And, you know, guys, I'm not saying not to do this, but I could put this together without this.
It
Oh,
is
yeah,
very easy
totally.
build.
I mean, that's a big thing for me. The how does it get here? What does it look like? And how does it fit? I can't say anything negative, and nobody's paying me not to say this, but I really like it.
Thank you.
And I can't say anything better.
It's I mean, and the price is amazing. It's a great little plane. I was very impressed with it too. And you know, when I did the build, the low parts count, I mean, it'll just knock your socks off. So
Can you see that, Ryan?
it's oh wow,
Got
that
it up
was
close.
really good. Yeah, people want to see that, guys.
I mean, look, you can't even see any foam.
Now,
a lot of these planes, you can see the little. Look how smooth this thing is. It looks as though that it's a solid surface.
It's a lot smoother than if you've ever looked at some of the other airplanes, you know, the e-flites and whatever else. They got that kind of gator look to them. That's that something weird.
So,
can we hear everything good still?
yeah, you're okay. So let me say something. The your rivets look amazing. That plane looks fantastic. That's not how it comes out of the box.
No, that's not how it comes out of the box.
It's been Papa dotted. And if you want to see what it looks like coming out of the box, I know a guy who did a build video, an unboxing of it, that you can check it out right on this channel right here.
Exactly.
You can see that video on hobbyzone.com and arrowsrc.com. Papa dotted that Bearcat, and it looks fantastic. And I can't wait to get ours back out, honestly.
But hey, you know, guys, if you want yours to look the exact same way, it takes about 2 hours with a fine tip pen, and you can make it look just like that.
Looks good.
The small airplanes, I think I did the dots on this airplane in maybe 2 hours. Yeah. I do. I've said this in the videos. It's a lot easier to do the dots before you assemble it.
Right, where you can set it in your lap and do it.
Yeah, set it in your lap, and you can.
Yeah.
If you have it like this, then you've got to turn it over, flip it over. It just goes a lot faster unassembled.
But the smoothness of the paint, I mean, you can't get that. Like I said, the way they finished this airplane, we were all just like, wow, it looks really good.
You know, guys, that deal is still going strong till the 25th of February. You get $20 off of that plane, which makes it $169. If you buy 2 planes or more, I don't know what the limit is, you get $30 off of each one, which is crazy.
Smoking deal on this airplane.
Smoking deal.
I mean, smoking deal.
And it's shipping from Minnesota. There's part support for these things. And this is the new thing over there at hobbyzone.com. They got their own brand. So this is really cool. I love seeing all the support that they're getting. I want to thank you also personally for that, because I feel very close to this situation, because we were able to do kind of the launch with you guys right here on the Pilot's Lounge, which I just think is a phenomenal opportunity, and humbled by it. So thank you for the support, you guys, of the Arrows RC equipment. And again, subscribe to their they've got a YouTube channel, probably not a lot on it right now, but check it out. You'll probably see maybe some of our stuff in the future going on over there, but at least you're going to see our videos in the website otherwise, and get in on their newsletter. That way you're the first to know when new things come out. And keep in mind, too, that hobbyzone.com has been around for a long time, so your e-flite and FMS needs can be met over there as well, it seems like, too, from a little bit of looking around the other day. So check them out. Thanks a lot for that. Guys in the chat, what am I missing? See you later, Aventador 2004 says Will Nate. Let's see. There's a little bit of lag the way I'm seeing the comments here. We're going to try to wrap it up in 5 or 10, 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes. Something like that. Let's see what is next on the horizon. What's the next play? See you later, Kevin Jones. What I want you to do, though, is thank you, Josh. What I want you to do, Boozers, is take some nice detail shots of that Bearcat.
Definitely. We'll throw them up on the
Facebook, man.
Pilot Lounge, yeah.
If you had an Instagram, you'd put it there, wouldn't you?
Yep, and we're going to get one. We're working on it right now.
Do it. You'll be glad. It's a great way to cross-promote your videos and drive people to YouTube, and it's actually really fun, and your editing skills will benefit, too, from having to chop up your full flights into like 1 minute. Yeah. It's kind of neat. You know what I mean? You cut out a lot of the minutia and just get to it, you know, which is kind of fun, right? So.
Okay. What did the T-28 look like? Does it have the same finish?
The T-28, I feel like it looks very similar, but I also feel like it's got less paint on it because it's silver.
Oh, okay.
It looks really good, though. The same servos and hardware and construction methods and ease of assembly. If you check out the build video, and pretty soon you're going to see the flight video because we did those today. Mm-hmm. But the gear doors on that nose gear blow me away, the quality on an 1100 like that, because a lot of times you get something smaller than 1400 and everybody goes kind of cheap, you know. You don't get closing doors and things like that. And it's a mechanical closure. It's not servo driven or anything, but it's something that anybody who's flown any of the bigger T-28s will kind of recognize the method for getting it done, and it closes up really nice. It's a nice gearbox up there for that nose gear. The only thing I'd do to those planes is maybe mod some lights into them and maybe some Dave Brown tires just to kind of make it also feel big on the ground, because they fly big, they feel great, and then when you land them, you can tell you're kind of maybe on some harder tires. But
yeah, the planes are hard.
But you'll agree with me here, Papa. I can tell already because you've done the rivets. But when you look at these planes, don't let the 1100 size fool you, because they're definitely scale enough looking that they warrant whatever a modifier would want to do to them.
Oh yeah, and for the price, I just keep coming back to that. The amount of scale detail you're getting for the price on these. You get the little exhaust. It's got the 3-stack exhaust. It's got a nice little cockpit in it. They actually put the little bar behind his head.
And the pilot's nice too.
The pilot looks nice too. Yeah, the pilot's really good looking. Gave him the yellow. What do they call that?
May West.
There you go.
May West.
It looks good though.
And it's even got instruments.
Yeah, a little instrument panel in it.
Nice. I like the hub too, and I like the 4-bladed prop.
Yeah.
It's a good one, guys. Try it out. It's a
good one.
Wait till you see the performance on it. Thumbs up on the way out, everybody who's leaving. I do apologize. I feel like it's 2 streams in a row that I've not quite been able to engage on the chat, but it's because we've had, I was a guest on a show, and then we got guests on this one. So really, really cool. I'm looking forward to talking to the CEO of HobbyZone.com, who's brought us this new brand, Arrows RC. I can't wait to see what else comes from them. There's going to be some new stuff, and you probably will see some classics come back and be made available. So I think that's wonderful. Thank you, Will Nate, for that. Victor, I didn't ignore you. I saw your comment a while ago about something about an Amazon link. I'll have to check that out and make sure it's not broken. If you're wanting to go there, you can always go to the channel art right here. And there's Amazon, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon right up there. You can get to Amazon that way. Captain Mavic, what is going on? Nice to see you here. I got to be careful when I count like this, because people will think I'm signing off.
Yeah. Well, we're at an hour and a half now.
I know it. We're
really good tonight.
Look, I got to finish this first. So we got another, hour and a half.
Okay, till we run out of battery here.
I'm kidding. I know. And
looking good on your end.
Yeah, and you're on mobile, right? And Wi-Fi. You might run out. So let's see. So last show we were talking about. You had just done an event with Sean at RC Jetworks.
Yep.
And we were talking about this, and I'm sure I was boasting about you because I'm proud of you from my end last time. But now you're here on the show. Is there anything you'd like to tell us? I think the story with you and Sean is cool about the 2 miles an hour. But is there anything you want to recap that since you're here on the air with me now? Is there anything you'd like to bring up from that event? And
yeah, definitely. So we got another thing while we were there. They made us an honorary member of their 100 RC missions. I don't know if you can see this good. Can they see that good right now?
Yeah, looks good.
So 100 RC missions over Florida. What this is for every time you fly a flight there, you write on the board a check mark. And they have, when you hit 100, you get this award. Well, they knew that we were going to hit 100, no problem. So they actually made us an honorary member of it. So it's pretty neat. This is to honor kind of the sorties over in
Mulberry, Florida.
Well, yeah, but this is for the club in Mulberry. It's called Imperial's RC Club. That's where the actual event was. But this was a really neat thing. They have a board there, and he says all you got to do to make yourself happier is come up here and start adding check marks.
That's
That means you're
nice.
flying. So it was really neat that they did this. I actually have the club president talking to us about this. It's going to be coming out on a video. Hopefully tomorrow, if I can get it edited and up, that'll probably be our premiere, is that whole event. So
Nice.
And then we also got an award, which, there you go, we got Best Scale Jet.
As long as there's not a contest for remembering what town that place is in, you'll be okay.
Right? I don't know what was wrong with me that day. And Sean's over there laughing his butt off at us because we're over there like Mulberry, Mulwood, Mul something, wherever I'm at. And I just could not remember that for the life of me that day.
There's gonna be some bloopers.
No, it's good to have that stuff in there.
That's another thing is amazing. Everybody likes bloopers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
You know what? It's nice to see something that's real. I talk about this all the time with I talk all the time. So I don't remember who to, but it's like whenever I'm talking about RC community and video and marketing, I think I say it all the time. It's like a credo. We are so used to being sold stuff in our life. You're driving down the street, it's on the sign, it's on the radio, it's on the TV, commercial, that even though we're out here showing these things off to drive commerce in this business, it's still okay to slow it down and do what you like and be real and be honest. It doesn't have to be fancy. And in the rest of the world where every second counts, you're not going to get a blooper reel on a 30-second commercial. But YouTube, broadcast yourself, you get to put out whatever you want to. And we're so, again, inundated with corporate everything that being some real dudes hanging out, making mistakes, having fun, whatever, is all right by me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It always works. If you get out of the RC segment, and I was talking about RC tunnel vision a little bit, referring to myself on that other show the other day. By the way, those guys are amazing. When you get out of there, you'll see that other YouTube videos are actually very much like regular commercial endeavors where they're paced really quick and there's just a lot going on, and they're done well, but it's just not maybe necessary. You know what I mean? It's like, could you imagine if they treated golf like a 30-second commercial and you had to get it done in 30 seconds? Golf is an all day long game. It's slow.
And it's only good if you're drinking beer.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the boozers.
But it's fun and you're outside, and it's slow and it's easy.
Wait a minute. Now we gotta clarify this. We do not drink beer while we're flying radio controlled airplane. Please, guys, don't even think we go there.
No.
Yeah, Dennis Farley, you're right, and that's what I'm talking about. Like real. The Petrinchik brothers, Pilot Robert and Captain Blosh.
Don't edit anything. They're like, here it is.
They don't want to edit. They don't care. If it's an hour, it's an hour. If it's 20 minutes, it's 20 minutes, and take it or leave it. I edit because I kind of like to, and I also it's not a diss, but like I've done this a long time. Like I really. It's if I edit, it's not to hide anything. It's just to do the best job I can of honoring your time, the viewer. I want you to be able to stay to the end. So I cut out some dumb stuff, and honestly, especially like the builds. I start off with like an hour and a half of footage, and you guys see 15 minutes. I work my butt off editing that stuff. Flight reviews are very much easier. The only editing I'll do there is like I'll pick the best take, and then a lot of times some of the other takes, landings, takeoffs, whatever, will work their way into maybe an intro or like an outro. Like at the end when I'm talking about all the stuff you need to do on social, I'll keep showing landings from other flights or something. You're not getting less, you're getting more. And maybe I don't feel like you want to see 3 flights of the same plane, so I'd give you one and then chop up the other ones. And it is what it is.
Look at the dog.
Roof.
Barking. Yeah, sorry. Lori's going to go get him before he starts barking. Somebody's driving up in the driveway or something.
Oh, I see. You got fans showing up, man. That's why you got to keep your address private.
That's right. Fans are showing up outside, beating the door down.
So what did we learn today? What did we learn today? Show number 28. Let's recap. Pre-flight. This is something I should have learned a long time ago. I cannot believe it.
Don't have your ailerons backwards when you take off. It makes things really hard.
I got nothing to say but cuss words, and I try not to.
It's some super weathering jobs when you do that.
I got a good start. Start on the weathering. All right, pre-flight, FAA. We're gonna tow a banner.
Right.
Neffy. Let's be supportive, but I what? And then Boozer merch, Teespring. Subscribe. All our buddies that have channels on here. Here's the thing about subbing. We're all here for RC, or you wouldn't be on this show already for the most part, right? Unless you just want to learn how to be studly like the Fonz. There's no other reason for you to be here. So for me to talk about subs, I feel okay about that. Because we're all here for the same thing. You like RC flying. You like the guys that you're here in the room with, then support them. Check out their channels. There's a lot of content to check out. There's a lot of different ways to get the job done. Everybody's got something to offer. Dennis, maybe. I'll talk to you about that. Man. You got my number, partner. So, I'm sorry, guys. I derail it sometimes when I try to multitask. What was I saying, Wesley?
We were going down your points, what you've talked about tonight. FAA, don't take off with your aileron.
Oh, yeah, subs. Yeah, subscribe to the Boozers. Check out the merch store. And when you get some Boozer merch, like post it up. Tag me, tag the Boozers on Facebook and stuff.
I really, really am a big fan. I know I designed it, but of the Papa Dot shirt. It says Papa Dot's approved riveter on it. I thought that was hilarious.
That's good. I mean, do it. You know what? Here's the deal. Teespring is so awesome because, Kawishki, I missed your comment, but I want to know it. Teespring is so awesome because you don't have to buy every color and style of shirt and sit on the boxes in your basement and ship them out. So you can try whatever you want and let the market dictate if it's worthy. If it sucks and you don't sell any, well, you're not out.
No big deal.
No big deal.
You're not sitting on 100 shirts that nobody wanted.
Yeah, you didn't make 100 of them, so whatever. Not implying that anything stinks, but it's like, the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want,
right.
Which is really cool.
Love it.
You guys want to see the crash on the Corsair? Is that what you guys are talking about?
Heck yeah, we do.
Yeah, we want to see them.
Oh, come on.
I know you had to get it on film, right?
Well, yeah, it was totally on film.
If I plowed one into the ground, you bet I'd put it up. Those are my best videos yet.
Yeah, the one on
our Tiger Cat, that's the best video we've ever done.
You know what? Just for the sake of my own feelings, though, I have to get I'll show it after I show a successful first.
Fair enough, but it needs to go up, definitely.
Yeah. I'll put it up.
Share the good with the bad,
I'm not afraid.
So many guys tell me that. Don't be afraid to share.
I'm not afraid, but let's also.
It hurts your pride.
It hurts your pride. I understand.
It's not even that. It's it's a unique position I've been in for a long time. It's different now, but when you're doing like official promo stuff, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea to put that out first. It's
right,
okay.
Not first.
It's okay to put it out. I think you should. I mean, some of you guys know I put it out. Like I put the B-24 on the tree. This and that. You guys saw it. I'm not afraid. But
it shows you're a real person, though, that you're actually flying the model.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm capable of making the same mistakes everyone does. But I definitely, for my own sake, I'm going to be putting up success with that thing first. Now, don't hold me to it, because I tend to want to please you guys. So if you ask for it, I'm liable to let you have it anyway. But it hurts my feelings. So I got to at least have maybe I don't even fly the fixed one or whatever yet, but I got to have a good one to look at, or have fixed the crash or made video of a good one before I'll let that one go. It's like I just can't get over the hump until I got a fresh one or success, and then I'll share. But for now, I'm going to maybe hold on to it.
I understand.
You know what I mean. So yeah, I was kind of on a tangent about subs. My thing is, we're all here for the same reason. I don't mind that we're sharing the love, and everybody who's got a channel, go check it out, check each other out, sub. If you're not subbed here, you're I wish you would, and things like that. Sometimes, though, when you get outside of RC, you can tell that it's just a sub fest. And
sub me, I'll sub you. And
I really want real.
I want the people that really want to watch our stuff.
Yeah,
really
and everybody's stuff for real. Everybody's welcome. And Dave Kowalski's talking about a sandwich. You're killing me, Smalls. Maybe I'm gonna have to go make a run for the border. I don't know. It wears you out staying out there in the cold, man. So Boozer merch, go get some. Patreon.
Get your airplane.
Get your airplane. Get your airplane at arrowsrc.com, hobbyzone.com.
Your Pilot Ryan Patreon.
That's right. Check out the links in the description. It'll take you to all the places you need to go. I flew today on some jet work stuff. Stay tuned for all the videos that are coming out. Mike Kennedy in the house. 4K sometime soon.
I had to wear long pants. It was only 70 degrees.
Oh, man. I have 3 or 4 shirts on. And
man, I'm in there sweating in shorts and a t-shirt right now.
2 pair of pants. 2 pair of pants.
Where's it at?
Hey, when the global warming happens and melts your face off before it does it to me, then we'll see.
Me and him are sweating in here, and it's only 70 degrees in here.
Hey, Scott Martin asked a question. Are you guys going to do the Arrows RC P51? I would say yes. I actually talked to him today, or not today, the other day. I talked to one of the guys there, actually my initial contact, and I was like, guys are going to want to see us do that one as well. So, let's get it. Let's get that P51 over here for the RC Pilots Lounge Hangar Rats crew. Mitchell Farley and his daughter, I've hired to do some stuff for me. Thanks to the urging of Dennis Farley, some very talented people all over the place. I can't wait to see what they come up with. It was Jasmine, Dennis Farley's granddaughter, who drew up the first Hangar Rats logo in the first place. And which we really haven't seen yet. I gave Mike some homework and he didn't get it done. So I've delegated that elsewhere. And so that's what's happening now. But there will be some new merch on our store as well. Any of you go ahead.
Looking for that stick at Monkey Pants.
What, in the chat?
No, it's the one we had sent you.
That I sent to you.
Well, yeah. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't do it all. So I delegated that away months ago, and I don't have anything.
Yeah. Well, we got Lori learning now, so maybe we can get it
Maybe
figured
we
out.
can help you.
That's what you got to do. I've got a list of things I got the Farleys doing that I want to see happen too, because I really am having a good time with the Teespring, but I don't want to pump a lot of energy into marketing the same thing. I appreciate everybody who's got the logo merchandise right now, and I mean, if I would retire from it if people wanted enough of it, but more people know what a Corsair is than me and Mike. So I'm wanting to do some aviation stuff. The same way that I think the boozers are really onto something if they take that squadron patch idea to another level, an affordable kind of t-shirty level. I think you can do everything. That doesn't limit you on your leather stuff as well, but it's really neat when you're able to turn this passion and hobby into your next project. You know, I pump everything right back into this. It's its own ecosystem for me, and it has been for a long time, so that's what I'm used to. Back before video, I did magazine, and I wasn't able to buy stuff until I got a magazine article done. Because the funds I make in my regular everyday life are spent. There's a handful of us little Pilot Ryans running around, and this ecosystem has to sustain. So it's neat when it does, and I'm really happy for you guys, and I hope your store does amazing, boosters. And I think
Me too.
I think it'll do fine. And once
We're not
every
trying to get rich. All we're trying to do is support our hobby to put more things out here
for more guys to watch more stuff. All we're doing is another side thing. We want guys to be able to find our merch and see, support us, and it just helps us pump. We're going to pump everything we make right back into the channel on any of this stuff.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, and also too, there's no crime in. And you know what? The whole rest of the world will make money off your sweat and tears and your back. So don't feel bad if you want to make some. It's okay. And so, when you can put it back in, I think you're on to something. Once everybody gets the boozer stuff, if I think you can, what happens is you'll see that it's an ebb and flow where everybody who wants to support you specifically will get your branded merchandise, and then it'll kind of taper off. So if you want to revitalize interest in that store, I think keep people coming back with new releases on these squadron patches, which is a cool way to help keep really aviation and the history of it all kind of alive as well. Not to mention just as an artistic thing, they look really cool. I love the pop art of it. And I think we were talking about this we talk all the time, Wesley, so I don't remember if it was yesterday or day before or whatever. But again, with the Teespring, you can't go wrong. You can put a distress effect on it. You can make it look old. You can make it look new. You can really pump it up. You can dull it down, whatever. And it's available. So I think you're onto something there. You got 6 months.
Yep, we got it, or else he's taking it over.
No, I'm a nice guy. You got it. It's you, but you got 6 months.
Yeah.
So cool. We're at a long time.
We're at a long time. I agree with you.
We're at a long time. You and I both are up on cruise in stands. Wesley,
right here.
Yep, you were the winner of that one.
Can you see it?
That was our first giveaway. Very cool. Those are available at hobbyzone.com as well. I got mine back here on the table, back there somewhere. Yep. I got your T45 up on it. And
man.
That's one of my next projects. I can't wait to get the EDF in there. And I got an ESC sitting right here, actually, that I need to solder.
I've got mine sitting around here, too, for mine.
My
current project.
Yeah.
Don't you splatter my airplane.
Yeah, don't you be crashing that airplane we worked so hard on. Make sure the aileron's in the right direction.
I definitely will. And I got my Hobby Wing ESC from RC Jetworks right here. That's going to go in that baby. And I'm going to probably run an FMS 90 millimeter in there because I have a couple extra.
And see if you can get that flight time.
I want that flight time because I'm going to be trying to catch the wire with that baby.
I know what you mean, man. I'm thinking about when I rebuild that F-16 going with the FMS fan in it. So we'll see how that all goes.
You know, there's a little work involved. Make sure it's fitting nice and loose.
So it's not grinding.
That plastic shroud will get out around, and you don't want that.
Yep.
Let's see.
There's another guy's name on that airplane, so you might want to let him fly it too.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I don't think it's going to work.
It's mine. I paid for it.
Yeah, you know, delegation.
Video it.
Hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, look, we hustled that deal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Chris Jackson in the house, barn burner shootout at Pegasus Club in Hagerstown, Maryland, in June 21st. Guys, Jay Mazzell, I just missed your comment. It disappeared on me really fast. I'm going to try to spend a few minutes here in the chat with you guys, shouting you out. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let's see. We're going to wrap it up in 10 minutes. It's going to be a 2-hour show today. And then I'm going to get editing up and look at the videos I shot today with Captain Mike. So we're going to wrap it up in a little while. Links are in the description. Lori's been dropping links in the live chat.
Hopefully everybody could hear us good tonight.
If you're in the live chat, thank you for being here. If you're watching on the replay, click the live chat button so you can hop in and see what's been going on and all the camaraderie that happens in the chat. A lot of these guys know each other and are really good to help out if you have any questions. Will Nate says, Pilot Ryan for President 2020. Me and Dana Lesh are going to run.
There was a lot of those in the Peugeot video too. Pilot Ryan for Prez.
Was there?
Yeah, that's like a running thing right now wherever you go. I've been watching that.
I have not noticed that.
Yeah.
It's been a whirlwind of a week. You guys who want me to see what you're doing, honestly, even if you come over to the Pilots Lounge Facebook group or you're on Instagram, Twitter, anywhere, if you want me to see it, you have to at me. You got to tag me so I get the notification because I have to tend to, I kind of so much stuff that I can miss it. If you don't tag me, you don't at me, I may not see it. And if you want me to see it, I want to see it too. So that's the best way to do it. Captain Mike is Canadian. Another person said Pilot Ryan for President. Papa Dots for President, says Hal Root.
Oh,
yeah.
Papa Dots.
What's that guy? Hey, what's that guy, the chef with the hair like you, Papa? What's that guy, the chef from Law?
Is it Ramsey or whatever?
No.
No.
It's Guy.
Diners and drives.
Guy somebody.
Guy Ferretti.
Something like that. That's it. Papa completely looks like him right now.
Like I say, I only bring the hair out for special occasions.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That Guy Ferrari.
Ferretti.
Something Italian.
Look at that. Woo!
So Jay Mazzell wants to know what's on the show tomorrow. Michael Sherman asks, what's the story with prop balancing? You know what? I don't do it unless I need to. Honestly,
unless I hear them vibrating like crazy, I don't do it anymore.
I really am. I could be a better ambassador, to be honest with you. Like you were talking about the range check on your Tiger Cat. I'm not sure I've ever done a range check in my life. I only just recently started keeping my batteries in ammo cans. I don't balance props unless they're out of balance. You know what I mean?
Right.
If they're out of balance, we'll fix it. If they run smooth, I'm not messing with it. So That's me.
I found out
I'm
most
bad.
electric props are pretty well in balance.
They have been.
You know what's
You
funny
don't have a lot
too?
of vibration on the motors to begin with.
Well, they definitely don't like it if there is.
Right.
That's true.
They don't like it if there is. You know, I remember if you would break a blade on the old FMS prop setups, you would, you had to weigh the blades you were putting on because you would get different weight blades, and then it's like, oh man, it was always a nightmare. So it's like if you broke one blade, the irony is that it should be easy to just replace that one blade, but at that time, the consistency and the weight of those blades was all over the place. You would have some that were really stiff, and then others that you could flex with your fingers. And I mean, I'm telling you, I remember flying the 1400 millimeter Corsair from FMS, and I broke a prop, and so I put another one on, and it's heavier, and so you can't ever sand enough off to make a difference, at least the way I was doing it. So I started drilling holes in it. So I've got a prop that looks like it's been shot. It was awesome.
Man, that's out of balance.
And it worked. You know, I mean, it took 2 or 3 holes. But you know what's funny sometimes is you think you got something out of balance, and then you take it out to the field, and it's like, fine. It's only acting like it's out of balance because it's under load. Like I thought my Trojan was out of balance, but it was a doll today. That little T-28, that yellow, red, silver, red-headed stepchild is it's a keeper. It really is. That thing was nice.
I'm sure it is. If it flies like every other T-28, it's going to be great.
And 169 right now, get out of here.
Yeah, for the price, and that's $100 less than the e-flite right now.
So is the Bearcat.
Right.
I mean, I go for the Bearcat, guys.
And the Bearcat flies just as good as the T-28, probably. I mean, I haven't flown their T-28, but I've flown everybody else's. This plane flies like a trainer.
Yeah, Mike Kennedy's talking about. Yeah, I agree. Mike Kennedy's talking about balancing props. So is Dennis Farley with like black electrical tape or Scotch tape. That's not a bad way to add weight. I've actually, see, that's the thing. It depends how out you are, right? If I add a blade that's too heavy, I got to take off of that one. If I add a blade that's too light, I got to add. So the way I've added weight is I've done drops of CA. I've done tape, you know, whatever. But most of the time, I really haven't had much trouble with props lately at all.
Yeah. The couple times I've balanced something, I usually just take a hobby knife and start scraping at one back end of it until I get that one light.
Clear nail polish. Clear nail polish, says RC Weave and FPV.
Yeah, that'd work
too. That's actually better than CA because the CA, sometimes the kicker will screw up the paint of your plane a little bit. Depends what brand you have. Let's see. So we're edging on 2 hours, right? Yeah,
right.
Like 1 minute. Yeah. I hate leaving. It's kind of wild.
Prop balancer.
Yep, prop balancer. I don't own one. I don't own one, but I will probably own one from Cruise In once he makes one, actually. So we're rounding up on 2 hours right now. Any last words in the chat? Now's the time. Thank you, everybody, for coming by to show 28. 28, that's 7 months of consecutive weekly shows. It's been really wild doing this interview thing today and watching it go back and forth between us whenever they make noise over there.
We've really enjoyed it, Ryan. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come by and hang out with everybody.
Yeah, we feel honored to be your first patrons on your show.
Kinda. I know George and Chloe had been on here during the very early ones.
It's been a while. Initially, thank you, Mitchell. You're nice. Thank you so much for that. Initially, the whole idea was interview. And I had some help, very gracious of George Tired Iron to help me out at the beginning. He was my tech guy who ran the back end and helped facilitate doing those interviews. I think the first 9 shows were interviews. And then I did some like regular, just kind of me in the chat. And then I did another interview with Memoirs of World War II, which I hope you guys are still checking that out and supporting that endeavor, because it's definitely a worthwhile cause. And those videos they put together are, I mean, documentary quality, TV quality, super well done. Definitely support that initiative.
Definitely, yeah. I got a chance to check that out.
It's right up your alley, Papa.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that they're doing. Same with you. So yeah, but I haven't done interviews since then because I'm a techno peasant. Honestly, it really is kind of amazing that I can work computers at all. Even though I do it all the time, I don't learn very easily, and it's always a struggle, but I also refuse to lose. So we work it out.
You ought to be a 20th century man living in the 21st century.
I think I am.
Well, I know I am.
I know you are, but I'm not that far behind you.
Right, I understand. But I mean, I'm like you. There's certain things that's easy for me, like this artwork, but when it comes to the electronics and I leave that to these two.
Yeah, hey, and let them do it.
I wish I could help them some more. Maybe I will, but
give it a little time. We'll get him into it.
You know what? It takes a village, and be glad there's a handful of you, because you can delegate out. Like, I feel like I think I understand community, and I really am having a good time on social. And I said it on that show the other day where I've done so many videos, and it's ironic that it's still so brand new doing live.
The live. Yeah,
interview style. It's a completely different facet to what we've done for so long, but I love it. So I only want to get better. I want to up the production. I want to keep it going. I want to be able to do a better job. When I take the thing on the road, I want to be able to do a good job. I want to be able to go to more stuff. I want to be able to interview more people. Anybody who's been around for a minute knows that the thing that really started this show was 2 things: being able to be consistent through the winter, and I wanted to be able to have access to get everybody's kind of origin story, as well as recognizing the fact that when I have a conversation about an airplane or how to land it or whatever with one person on a phone for half an hour or an hour, if I'm a guy who's trying to come up with content and make videos, that's something that's tremendously valuable. A lot of people could learn something from that conversation. Let's not be stingy. Let's figure out how to let everybody in on it, which reminds me of something I wanted to ask you at the very beginning of the show about that A-10.
Okay.
Did the guy's A-10 you fly have the stock landing gear on it, or had it been changed over to all one way or the other? Because the rumor on the street is that A-10
still had the bouncy gear.
Okay. Well, there's
and
2.
It definitely still bounced.
It needs to be, this is the consensus. You either need to have all up and down or all trailing link. It's the mismatch that exacerbates the back and forth that happens. And anybody who's checked out that plane at all knows that you can watch somebody come in what looks to be perfect and see it go wrong really fast.
Yep.
All that sounds really spooky, but if you watch, it's on this channel right here, and it's also on the Motion channel probably still too, where I did the upgraded struts, where I made them all up and down. I kept the stock nose gear, but I put those upgraded mains on, and I flew it on a windy day. I flew it on a perfect day. I flew it out of trim, and I was able to just like shoot touch and goes and landings all of a sudden without any fear. And even some stuff that I know would have ended badly on the old gear were fine because I was flying all the same.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about it, and that's why George Baker swears by, he turned his mains around so they didn't do that trailing link. And so basically he made his all act like the straight up and down, except since he turned the mains, they didn't really do much. So they're pretty stiff. But he didn't, it totally took the bounce out. Because what happens is it's fulcrum stuff going on, right? If you're thinking physics at all, it's fulcrum. So the point on that fulcrum moves back when those trailing links compress and the wheels go back, which increases the amount of force that's on the nose gear, which increases the amount of force that goes back on those, which just, it gets nasty.
Yeah, so, it definitely bounced every time I landed it today. One of them, it really, bounced.
He had to actually take back off because it bounced so high. He was gonna, if he didn't power up, he was gonna come
do one of these. Whammo.
So yeah, definitely something to be aware of on that plane. I think change it out, make it, put those gear, like I said, all one way or the other. The mismatch is the problem. Also, I was so spooked about that plane and its bounce, and I kind of really just lucked out on our flight reviews because those are my first 1-2 flights of that plane, and I managed to stick it pretty good in the grass, but I just lucked out because I bounced it too pretty good after that, when we were already done with the work, and then I got one for myself as well because Mike did the build and stuff, so that plane's his, but I just had to have it as well. And so I got one, and I was very cognizant of making sure I kissed those gear as soft as I could on the runway at Muncie, because there's nothing worse than getting that bucking Bronco when you're on all the pavement you could stand, like beautiful field. And it's like, man, the last thing I want to do is bounce this. I've got enough room to be able to really keep that throttle on and nurse it and keep it where the touchdown is very gentle, because that's what it needs if you don't change the gear. So I was curious.
I've seen more airplanes tore up 3 foot off the ground than I had 50 foot in the air.
Oh, yeah.
The problem's never in the air.
No.
It's always in the back of the truck where I see them get the most damage. Or getting them in the house.
Right. That kills you too, right?
I don't know how many tails I've ran into the wall.
Doesn't that make you mad?
Strip the servo.
But the slow install is going to get you.
Yep. Slow install is going to get you. Those wings don't do anything unless there's air moving over them. The example I give to somebody who doesn't know flying is, if you got the plane sitting on the ground, it's all powered up, and you crank full left aileron, that plane doesn't move at all.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't move at all. So your controls do nothing unless you've got airflow. So speed is your friend. You got to manage it.
Yeah.
And one other thing that goes along with that A10 that I told people when I was giving advice, because again, I remember talking to guys about this A10 landings. They called me after they wanted to talk after I put out that video with the touch and goes where they could hear the throttle and kind of see what I was doing. And they wanted to talk about it. And one of the big things I like to say was also commit to the elevator. Commit to the elevator. Don't play around in the pitch. Let your throttle do it. Because if you do have to go around and you relax that elevator, you might as well knock the nose down on purpose, because that's what it's going to do. So if you got to go around, you better already be in the pitch, or you're going to be in trouble, unless you're just already hauling the mail. You know what I mean? And it's not a fault of the plane. I'm not picking on the plane. A lot of us come from foamies. That's all I know, really.
I noticed when you gave it the power, that plane kind of pitched over. When I did my go around, it really pitched it down.
That's what I mean. You commit to the elevator and you don't have
Right.
that. And actually you kind of still do sometimes depending on your speed. But not to steer anybody away from the plane, but
you got to know what you're getting into too. You're not getting into a smaller airplane. You're getting to a more advanced airplane there.
well, that's the whole thing. It's the wing loading. If we're all used to flying foam, lightly loaded foamies,
that one weighs 10.
then the A10 all of a sudden is a chunk. So you better, the lightweight stuff doesn't have enough mass to hardly hurt itself if you bounce it around. But the heavier you get, it's just like my Corsair today didn't like landing upside down.
I don't think any of them do, to be honest with you.
It didn't like it at all, and it hurt my feelings.
But the A10 has great flying characteristics if you keep it in control and understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's going to bite you.
Yep.
On any of these airplanes.
What's crazy about that A10 is when you look at it, if you haven't flown one yet, you think it's a slow flight Cessna 182. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it is actually really
fast.
It's fast and it's really slippery for what it is.
It is. I think I was at a quarter throttle most of the flight.
That's what I was going to say.
And I got 5 minutes out of it easily.
That's awesome. My best landings always came from, first of all, good landings start the minute you enter the downwind leg. You need to already be going slow and be at the altitude you want to be at for entering the base leg. Or
my biggest problem today is the wind was really fighting me. We were talking 20 mile an hour crosswind, gusting. Off on.
Mike and I's thing for crosswind is I was just getting ready to say, if you don't manage your speed and your altitude on the downwind, then you're going to be going too fast when it's time to touch down. But if it is windy like that,
you got to be going fast.
You want to be going fast. That's where you really need to stick at monkey pants, because definitely too slow. Don't let the wind take advantage of you.
We going for a 2.5 hour show?
No, tonight? We're gonna go. We're gonna go. So
you want to do what we did last night?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll do it because it'll be crazy.
Again, we have really enjoyed this, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to be here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed seeing us.
Yeah, I think they did. It's cool.
You want to say something?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
We'll do this again. The interview thing, I feel a little clumsy not being able to see the chat like I usually do, and
we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, and I'm anxious to see what the replay's like. But yeah, this is cool. And check out the Boozers on their replay tomorrow. Subscribe, tap the bell for notifications so your phone will ding on you when they're going live. Do the same thing here. I'd like to thank everybody for their support. Check out the links in the description. You know what's nice about this one? Normally, when I get done with these videos, I spend another 20 minutes dressing them up and getting them ready for the replay. Basically, this one's ready to go, probably except for the thumbnail. So I'm like really excited about actually being kind of finished when I'm finished. That never happens.
We understand.
So, guys, check out all the links in the live chat. Check out the links in the description. That'll get you to the Boozers Teespring store. Support them if you like what they're doing. They give tremendous amount of value, fun videos, and the live streams and the tutorials are off the chains. Lori, thanks for all your help over there. Those guys need you, I'm sure. And you guys are all a treasure to the community, and it's always fun having you show up, and I really count on you. I don't know what I'd do without you. So thanks so much. Brian Chambers is doing the countdown. Roy, Thorward, everybody in the chat who I've missed tonight, thank you so much. Thanks for all your support over there at Pusha Studios. I really was humbled by you showing up, and the community of RCers You hanger rats really showed up in force, and you made a big guy blush. So thanks so much. Next week, who knows what it's going to be, but it's time to get this T45 outfitted, and it's time to wrestle up some new projects. Be looking out for new videos coming out all week. We got a lot done today, and once I get fixed up, I'll put out that crash, but I got to get pretty first.
Understand.
Your shirts look really nice. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
The
you.
guy that made them, yeah, we know the guy that makes them. He does a pretty good job.
Not bad. Not bad. Tell him I said
We're
hi.
just doing them for this show. We'll be wearing them wherever we go.
Yep.
That's cool. You got to take them out with you and maiden those shirts, just like our buddy Mike Kennedy maidened his shirts with his son the other day.
That's right. We're gonna have to go maiden them at Joe Nall this year for you.
Yeah, man, do it. I need to get some .com stuff on there too.
Yeah.
All right, guys, hanging rats are out of here in 5. We'll never end if we don't just do it.
4,
3, 2, you can't count.
1.
It's the lag. 1. Stick a monkey pants.
Chicken monkey pants.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
See you later.
Stop broadcast. We're out here. Thanks, people.